Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And I am William Mendoza, and I'm the Graduate Research Assistant here for the Library Media Certificate Program and the Indigenous Perspectives in School Librarianship. Joining you here from the city of Bozeman, Montana, and Montana State University here in the Student Center. So, uh, really good to have you all here and able to be a part of today's conversation. Um, it's a part of our efforts here at the Library Media Certificate Program is to uh, provide enrichment, professional development outside of the classroom. And as you know, some of you are engaged in well, all of you are engaged in the thick of coursework and kind of immersing you both in the theory and methods of library sciences. And so we, especially my supervisors, Dr. Ann Eubank and Dr. Deborah Reno, are doing our best to try to provide you with these types of opportunities and engagement. And so little bit of housekeeping before we get started with our esteemed guests. We'll be here for about an hour, and one of the important aspects is being able to provide a dialogue opportunity for you all, and we also want to make sure that we know who's in the room. So if everybody could just check in as you join the live webinar here, and let us know that you're here, that we'd certainly appreciate that. From time to time, we'll be providing question and answers at the end, actually. But if you have a burning question and you would like to post that question in the chat, just so we have that question up, if there's something that our speaker says that sparks a thought with you, or you need clarification or something, go ahead and put that in the window. I'll be bringing those on screen from time to time, and so she'll be able to see them. You'll be able to see them. The other class will be able to see them. So just know that option is there. Yeah, great job, Francie and Jeffrey. Let us know where you're chiming in from too. That's great for everyone to see what diverse representation, both geographically and personally, that we're kind of coming in from. What else? Today's conversation is being recorded, and so we just ask everybody to understand that and use appropriate dialogue and language. Make sure that we keep the chat for question purposes and maybe resources if you have a suggestion or any insights that would be helpful to the other folks on the line. And we're hoping that the technology works out for us okay today, but in the event that we do have a crash, we will make sure to log back in and proceed with the conversation as best we can. So our first time utilizing some of this webcast technology, some specific tools, and so we're hoping that it all goes off without a hitch today. But it's my privilege today to introduce our guest speaker, who was just gracious enough to join us on our first webinar series here. And Karen Haught is a library media sciences director there at College of Muscogee Nation in Okmulgee, Oklahoma. I had the privilege to tour that facility a number of years back, and what a wonderful place, just a vibrant energy in way of tribal colleges and universities. Those of you who aren't new or who are new to that space, this is one of our premier examples in terms of how Indigenous thought and philosophy is not only excelling in mainstream delivery of content and the kinds of facilities that really foster engagement and learning, but it's also one of those shining examples within tribal colleges and universities. And so I couldn't be more privileged to be able to hear Karen speak and to be able to share with our students today. But let me go ahead and turn it over to Karen for her appropriate introduction from a personal level and to be able to share with you guys some of the content that she's wanting to deliver for us. Thank you, Karen.
Hello, guys. So I'm excited to speak to you today. We're going to be talking about the College of the Muscogee Nation and some work I do with the Oklahoma Library Association. So please forgive my background. Our house is in the middle of a remodel, and so this was the least awful place to be. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Sorry, one moment. It's Jay, Karen Haught, Jahojif Kadost, Wa Achina Amalegada. Hello, my name is Karen Haught. I've worked with the Muscogee people as the Tribal College Librarian for 11 years. Today I'll be talking to you about the College of Muscogee Nation, its library, and the Oklahoma Library Association's Tribal Libraries Committee. Please feel free to ask any questions. Article 13 of the 1886 treaty with the Creeks provides for the construction of education buildings. It was ratified in 2009 and states that the college is to have a board of regents made up of 5 members appointed by the principal chief with advice and consent of the National Council. We have several associate's degrees, which include criminal justice, gaming, general studies, Native American studies, natural resources, and tribal services. We also have 2 certificates. The college is located in the headquarters of the Muscogee Nation. A tribal needs assessment was done in 2003. The school implemented a memorandum of agreement with Oklahoma State University. Until the college was admitted to the Higher Learning Commission as a candidate for accreditation, OSUIT transcribed CMN's classes and provided student services. The college held its first classes in 2004. There were a total of 35 students for that academic year. Our Board of Regents held its first meeting in 2005. We were chartered in 2006. And in 2007, CMN received a HUD degree for a new building. A 15-acre campus was purchased in 2008. The Muscogee Nation Constitution was amended in 2009 to include the College of the Muscogee Nation.
Karen, I
The
just want
college
to, sorry, Karen, I just want to apologize for interrupting. I just want to make sure that your slides are changing.
are they not?
Yeah, I think we're either experiencing a delay or maybe try to share your screen again.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Escape. Sorry about that. It showed it was sharing on my end.
Yeah, it is sharing. We saw the first screen and then I didn't see the
That was it. Okay. So let's try again.
okay.
What do you see now?
I see the campus aerial view.
Okay, good deal. That is
Okay.
where we need to
Yeah,
be.
and if you
So,
could just cue the change of the slide for me, then I can monitor if it's having any lag or anything. Appreciate it.
okay,
Yeah,
awesome. All right. So we were established in 2010. We completed the residence units you see in the bottom right hand corner of your screen in 2012. 2012 is also the year the College of the Muscogee Nation was approved for a Higher Learning Commission candidacy. In addition, CMN was admitted to the American Indian Higher Education Consortium. A student center, which includes the library, was constructed and 10 acres were added in 2013. In 2015, a student success center and community cultural garden were added. We were designated as a 1994 land grant institution in 2015, and we were awarded initial accreditation by the Higher Learning Commission in 2016. 2017, more resident units were expanded and an outdoor classroom was added. And in 2018, we added our 3 new degree programs: General Studies, Natural Resources, and Police Science. In 2021, a natural resource and cultural arts building was completed. It's at the top right of your screen. Funding has been secured and architects hired for construction of a new 20,000 square foot exhibit and lecture hall, which will begin construction next year. So if you can see on the aerial map, we look like a half a circle, and so the circle is very meaningful for the Muscogee people, and so the campus plan is to eventually complete the circle with 2 additional buildings. All right, and I'm changing slides. So our core values, I'll tell you a little bit about.
Okay, it
So
doesn't look like it changed. Sorry. Maybe
okay,
try presenter view on the bottom right.
okay,
Hit that little button that you
okay.
have down there where plus and minus. It has a little screen, I think, there, icon on the bottom right.
Yeah, let's see. Did that change what you all are seeing?
No, it did not.
Okay. Hmm.
Let's
This
see.
is my first time really using this system. Let me try to stop the sharing and start
Yeah,
again.
and then try to put it in presenter mode and see if that helps us.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we see the aerial view,
Okay.
and
Do you see core values now?
no, do not see the
Okay.
core values.
Okay. Let's go back. I apologize. I am not sure why that's not working.
Let's see here if there's anything on my end.
So let me try ending the show one more time.
Okay, we
Restart.
see core values now.
Okay, maybe I just need to leave it in this instead of trying to do the actual slideshow. Can you
Okay.
see all the slides on the left hand side there?
Yeah, I can see the slides.
Okay, let
Yeah.
me advance it and see if that works.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
working now. Yep.
okay.
Yep.
All right. So I apologize for that. So
No.
I'm sorry that we'll try to leave it like that so you can at least see the slides.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
the core values, thank you. The core values are really important to the college. Our first one is Athlakwichka, which means respect. We have Fachada, which means integrity. Majogi is responsibility. Iaskata is humility. And Hobothlinga means wisdom. Did you see the new slide? The culture was incorporated into the
Yes.
buildings.
Yes, we
Okay,
did.
awesome. The Muscogee culture influenced the design of each building. The font used in the print of the name inside and outside of the building was chosen because it was the font used in the first Creek Reader. The Muscogee creation story tells us that a mound was built up by early inhabitants of the earth, which is why a mound was created at the entrance of the school. Even the tiles in the restrooms were designed to mimic Muscogee basket weave patterns. The CMN logo features a symbol found on pottery shards in the Muscogee ancestral grounds. It symbolizes two raven heads. In addition, the overhead view of the inaugural building reveals the appearance of a raven. The circle is also a significant element of ceremonies that have been practiced throughout the centuries and continue to present day. In a circle, no one is above or below another. Each individual has equal standing. Clan emblems are also placed in the cultural plaza at the entrance of the school. So this chart is a great representation about how students are able to attend the college for such a low cost. Sometimes after Pell and other scholarships, students even receive money back. The Muscogee Nation provides 47% of the financial aid our students receive. To ensure our students aren't burdened with debt, the college does not offer loans. This slide represents some of the scholarships our students are eligible for. The CMN tuition waiver helps offset the cost of attending for students of other federally recognized tribes. The American Indian College Fund, TCU scholarships, are based on need and available to enrolled CMN students. 95% of our students receive financial aid. So the library is under the academic affairs budget. However, all salaries are paid out of the operations budget. To supplement the library budget, we work with the Muscogee Nation to apply for Institute of Museum and Library Services grants. Tribal colleges are not allowed to apply for the IMLS grants on their own. The college and Muscogee Tribal Library rotate years when applying for the IMLS Native American Library Services basic grants. The library was also a recipient of a large USDA grant. The library also recently received an IMLS CARES grant, which we used to purchase hotspots and additional laptop computers. So these figures are a representation of our student body. 72% of our students are under the age of 25. A majority are female. Many of our students are first-generation college students. 27% are over the age of 25. A graduation follow-up study done in 2014 found that 77% of respondents were employed with the Muscogee Nation. Respondents indicated the top two benefits from their CMN experience were native culture and language and overall academic success. And we are planning on redoing that study as well. So now you should be seeing pictures of our campus housing. The college has 21 co-ed dorm units that can house 84 students. Due to COVID, currently only 48 students are currently in the dorms. We are expecting to be fully open in the spring. Students are required to be vaccinated to live in the dorms. Pardon me. Family housing is a growing need. If there are more applications than dorms available, Muscogee students living 25 miles away from campus or more are given priority. Only 3% of our students are from out of state. The CMN campus currently has 9 classrooms and 2 computer labs. Our new building has just been finished and also has 2 additional classrooms. The gaming classroom you see is always a big hit with visitors. Students learn all aspects of the gaming industry, including how to deal poker, blackjack, and work on slot machines. The College of the Muscogee Nation is a member of the American Indian Higher Education Consortium. AHEC's website states AHEC provides leadership and influences public policy on American Indian and Alaska Native higher education issues through advocacy, research, and programmatic initiatives. It promotes and strengthens Indigenous languages, cultures, communities, lands, and tribal nations, and through its unique position serves member institutions and emerging TCUs. Prior to COVID, CMN had a delegate of students attend AHEC's Day on the Capitol each year. The students went to advocate for tribal colleges and additional funding through the federal government. AHEC also has a student conference each year. The 2020 and 2021 were canceled due to COVID. The conference moves around the country and is hosted by a different group of TCUs each year. Advocacy is embedded in everything the college does. CMN advocates for its students. Our first question is always, how will this affect our students? In addition, the school advocates preserving Native language and culture by providing programs and classes that highlight Native culture. The college advocates healthy living by providing a fitness center for students, doing fitness challenges and diabetes awareness events throughout the year. We also advocate for mental health awareness. The suicide rate is 3 times higher for American Indian and Alaska Native youth. There are many mental health awareness events throughout the year. CMN advocates voting rights by helping students to register to vote. They also work with the Muscogee Nation to set up rides to the polls. The college participates in Earth Cleanup Days and Gardening Days. In addition, CMN advocates for water rights. Every year, the college celebrates our veterans by having a Veterans Day salute. The college and its students advocate for elders. Students volunteer for events such as the Elder Games and Elder Bingo. Each year, student organizations select at least one child and one elder from the tribe's angel tree. They then purchase gifts to donate. The pictures in this slide illustrate CMN participating in events such as Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women's Day and Sexual Assault Awareness Day. I don't know that I'm going to be able to play the audio on this slide. Let me give it a try.
College of the Muscogee Nation. Muscogee Idalwa, Nakjoga Mahaga Sahalwijad. College of the Muscogee Nation. Muscogee Idalwa, Nakjoga Mahaga Sahalwijad. College of the Muscogee Nation. Muscogee Idalwa, Nakjoga Mahaga Sahalwijad. College of
Oh, sorry about that. Were you all able to hear that?
That came through loud and clear.
Awesome. So we also obviously advocate for the language. The language is embedded in everything the college does. Students are required to take the beginning Muscogee language course. We also offer intermediate, advanced, and conversational Muscogee language. In addition, there is a Muscogee reading and writing practicum. Throughout all buildings, the Muscogee language is used on the signs, in the design, and throughout all the classrooms. In the Student Center, where the library is located, the entire Muscogee alphabet has been added in letters that are 5 feet tall. The alphabet runs down a long hallway. The library has Muscogee language dictionaries and plenty of CDs and workbooks. Muscogee is an endangered language. The college, its faculty, staff, and students are working tirelessly to ensure there are many new speakers. Cultural activities are very important at CMN. These pictures show a stomp dance demonstration and a cedar blessing. CMN brings in many artists to share their crafts with our students. The first picture shows artist Mary Smith presenting Muscogee pottery in a make-a-take event. Stephen Paul Judd, a writer, director, and visualist, did a collaborative art project with our students. Each student painted one tile. The tiles were then put together to create a bigger piece of artwork, shown in the picture. Those were before COVID. We haven't been able to have as many of the activities since COVID has hit. These pictures are examples of our many cultural classes. On the left, the academic dean's son is making a traditional paddle. On the right, students are making moccasins. Currently, students are making ribbon skirts and shirts. Some of the cultural classes, such as flute, ball sticks, and bow making, are offered as 4-credit class. However, the majority of our cultural activities are simply for enrichment. In addition to pottery events, students have made things like baskets and cans for stomp dance. We have beading events and hand games regularly. The College of the Muscogee Nation Cultural Garden and outdoor classroom are well loved and used often. Many instructors enjoy using the outdoor classroom when the weather is nice. CMN advocates for food sovereignty by growing traditional plants year-round. We also have traditional food days where students, faculty, and staff are able to sample traditional foods like sofki. Assessment is critical to our accreditation. Each instructor uses assessment in different ways in their classrooms. There is a standing assessment committee that meets regularly. CMN just completed the HLC Assessment Academy. The college has incorporated assessment into co-curricular activities as well. I've been co-chairing the co-curricular committee we have for our student workers. We have an assessment day each year where we invite students, faculty, staff, and stakeholders to hear about the previous year's assessment. Students of the CMN Police Science program collaborate with the Muscogee Creek Nation Light Horse to grant a Make-A-Wish for a Muscogee citizen. The students investigated the scene of a mock robbery while the citizen, Joshua, arrests the perpetrator. Joshua's wish was to be a cop for the day. The students, faculty, and staff were thrilled to be part of such a wonderful experience. The Day of Giving started out very small. We have a health shelf year-round where students can pick up things like shampoo, soap, and laundry detergent. It is stocked through donations. Our security personnel decided to start a Day of Giving. They collected donation of personal care items, cleaning supplies, and food. Before COVID, the Day of Giving was set up for students to participate in person. While the campus was closed, the Day of Giving became a drive-through event. During the closure, students were provided takeout meals from our cafe. Each weekend, the school provided 3 meals for a family of 4. When the students would pick up their meals, they were provided with a bag stuffed with goodies. Fall Fest is another exciting day on campus. It's a fun-filled day filled with prizes, cultural events, and games. We also hold a blood drive every year during Fall Fest. The cafe provides lunch. CMN is located in a rural area. We are always trying to come up with fun and exciting things for our students to do. A water slide extravaganza has turned into a yearly tradition. In addition, the library collaborates with the Learning Center and Behavioral Health to have a pancake dinner the week before finals. Graduation is held each spring at the Muscogee Nation Dome. As with most schools, our 2020 graduation was canceled. However, the school decided to combine the 2020 and 2021 graduation. We had 42 graduates. The picture is from 2019, and it was our biggest graduation. There were 60 graduates that year. When I started in 2010, the library had less than 2,000 items. While our library is still considered small, we now have over 11,000 items, even after a major weeding project. We have moved the library on 2 occasions. In 2010, we were utilizing a building on the OSUIT campus. We then moved into the inaugural building in 2010, and 3 years later moved into our current, much larger space in the Student Center. The new library added archival space and quiet study rooms that are used often. CMN classes are held Monday through Thursday. The library is open Monday through Thursday from 8 in the morning until 7 p.m. That's the schedule I work, so I am available for our evening students and adjunct faculty. My work study students cover the Friday shift, which is from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. I was recently told that the fourth building in our plan will be the library as well. So we'll be moving to an even bigger space in another few years. I'm very excited about that. Excuse me. So the library has continued to add desktop computers and now has a total of 24. In the previous location, we were lacking a dedicated area for information literacy instruction. When the library was moved into the current location, a smart board was purchased. We are now able to provide instruction in the library or in classrooms. In 2010, we added an online public access computer and moved to the Library of Congress classification system. The Oklahoma State Department of Libraries provides EBSCO, ERIC, and other databases through its Digital Prairie program. We have also added American Indian History Online and American Indian Experience databases. With a USDA Community Facilities Grant, the library purchased the archives of several sections of ProQuest and JSTOR databases. We are currently in the process of adding a science-specific database. The library also participates in the Oklahoma Regents for Higher Education OK Share program. The program provides students, faculty, and staff with borrowing privileges at participating institutions such as the University of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State University. Our library houses a large Native American collection as well as materials to support all of our degree programs. Through donations, we have built a popular fiction and children's collection. We also have several thousand DVDs, which are very popular with our students. In 2011, we started a laptop lending program. We started with 6 laptops. We now have 40. For many years, the laptops were only available for 2 business day checkout periods. However, due to COVID, we have extended the checkout period to 1 week and now allow renewals over the phone. Many of our students live in extremely rural areas with little to no internet access. To help bridge the digital divide, CMN purchased 20 Wi-Fi hotspots for our students to check out. Students always seem to really love our National Library Week activities. While we don't do a cake and punch reception every year, we do have candy and drawings where students can win gift cards and gift bags full of goodies. Banned Books Week is another exciting week for displays and events. For several years, CMN was able to participate in World Book Night. There was an essay, and if you were selected, you were sent 20 copies of a book to give away. Students really loved our World Book Night. In addition, the library collaborates with Financial Aid Department to provide scholarship workshops. Students are able to come in and get help with funding and apply for scholarships. Scholarship essay help is also available. When the school is back to full capacity, the Learning Center and the library are going to institute a Write Night. The library will work with faculty, tutors, and IT department to ensure the event runs smoothly. Students will be able to come and get help with essays and other assignments. We have also submitted an IMLS basic grant application with 6 new cultural activities, which will be held in the library. And I'm happy to say we were awarded that grant. In 2019, the library and Phi Theta Kappa, an honor society for students at 2-year colleges, hosted the Muscogee Nation Head Start program. PTK students read to the Head Start children. The library provided small trinkets for the students to take with them. It was a wonderful event that we intend to make permanent. In the future, we will also select a book to give each child to take home. In the future, once COVID calms back down, we plan to begin collaborating more with the tribal and public libraries in our area. Dr. Sibu Clark is a Muscogee citizen and a now retired law professor who has written books including A Guide to Indian Tribes of Oklahoma and Lone Wolf versus Hitchcock, Indian Treaty Rights at the End of the 19th Century. The library hosted a talk with Dr. Clark. While Dr. Clark was a Board of Regent member for the College of the Muscogee Nation, many students, faculty, and staff didn't realize he was an author. His book talk was very well attended. He recently published a second edition to A Guide to Indian Tribes of Oklahoma, and we are hoping to have him back for another book talk soon. Each year, the school raises money with the Pennies for Pie campaign. The tribal leadership circle selects a charity and puts out buckets for faculty and staff. The employee with the most money in their bucket wins a pie to the face. It's a fun event that students, faculty, and staff all love. The president and I tied this year, so we both had the pleasure of a pie to the face. The school also hosts Halloween events each year. There is pumpkin painting, a bake-off, and a costume contest. I spend a significant amount of my time tracking down laptops, and our previous president always referred to me as the bounty hunter. It inspired my costume. I'm happy to say that I was the winner of the faculty and staff costume contest. Much like the rest of the world, COVID has impacted CMN in many different ways. The school went fully online for the spring, summer, and fall semesters of 2020. High-risk employees were allowed to work from home from March until June of 2020. Faculty and staff then returned to campus. Once the numbers in our area started increasing rapidly, CMN went to a staggered schedule. We remain on the staggered schedule until December of 2020. The campus remained closed to everyone but students, faculty, and staff until just recently. However, everyone still has temperature checks before they are allowed in the building. We are very fortunate that the Muscogee Nation offered to vaccinate any student, faculty, or staff member interested in taking the vaccine. Most of us were fully vaccinated by the start of February. With assistance for the IMLS CARES Grant Act, the library added additional laptops and hotspots to help our students who lack access to the internet. We also added a chat program so students were able to find help in additional ways. It has not been used as much as we had hoped. We still offer help to students via phone, Zoom, and Microsoft Teams. McGirt versus Oklahoma was a landmark case handed down in July of 2020. The Supreme Court ruled that most of eastern Oklahoma remains a Muscogee reservation. The court stated Oklahoma does not have jurisdiction to prosecute criminal cases when they involve an American Indian and the crime occurs within the boundaries of the Muscogee Nation, which covers 8 counties. The ruling has created a large increase in the number of positions for the tribal police, the court system, and the Attorney General's office. CMN's criminal justice program is poised to help fill those jobs. Now I will talk to you a little bit about the Oklahoma Library Association's Tribal Libraries Committee. The Tribal Libraries Committee mission is to increase input for those interested in American Indian issues into the OLA planning process. The co-chairs of the Tribal Library Committees will be members of the OLA Program Committee. This includes people who work with American Indian collections in non-tribal libraries, as well as those interested in American Indian services and programs. The committee is designed to promote relationships. Many librarians and library staff members who work in public school or college universities and special libraries want to build a relationship with our colleagues who work in tribal libraries or archives. We have much to offer each other that will make all our libraries stronger and better. The committee also looks to increase involvement in OLA on the part of those working in or with special libraries and archives that serve American Indian communities, especially those who work in and with tribal libraries or archives. I have been co-chairing the TLC committee with Dr. Helen Clements from Oklahoma State University for the last 6 years. TLC plans and provides sessions at OLA's annual conference. In addition, the committee provides a longer workshop every third year. We began planning conference sessions a year in advance. Many of our sessions have included multiple speakers and are usually very well attended. As a librarian for CMN, I am able to participate in the Tribal College and University Libraries Association. Each year, tribal college librarians meet on the Montana State University campus for a week of programming and networking, sponsored by MSU and organized by Marian Hansen. Dr. Lorraine Roy, an iSchool professor at the University of Texas at Austin, attends the conference and brings several of her students. She creates assignments where students are able to help tribal college libraries. For example, one year her students helped redesign a tribal college website. In 2015, I mentioned to Lorraine and one of her students that the Tribal Libraries Committee had been wanting to survey all the tribal libraries in our state. We had tried unsuccessfully to accomplish the large undertaking. Jane Orr agreed to help with the project. She was able to earn credit at UT for her work. Jane was successfully able to interview librarians at 21 of the 27 tribal libraries. She gathered results in 5 content areas: tribal library infrastructure and staff, relationship to the Oklahoma Library Association, professional development interest and access, needs of tribal library patrons, and preferred methods of professional communication. This slide shows some of the results of the study. The study continues to guide TLC's planning. At some point, we are hoping to do another survey. So that is about all I have for the presentation. Let me stop sharing. And now I'm happy to answer any kind of questions.
Thanks, Ms. Haught. Appreciate it. So yeah, students, why don't you go ahead and get those questions spooled up on the chat, and I'll add them here. We did have a question from our, let's see, I think that's Gwen. I'm trying to change the color here. I didn't realize I was still on. But she asked, how many archival pieces do you have, and what types of material are there?
So as the college, The tribe has its own tribal library, and the tribal library is the one that archives everything to do with the Muscogee Nation. Our main archives are about the College of the Muscogee Nation. So we have everything from copies of the Constitution to the original charter and mostly documents that pertain to the college. We are hoping to start a project where we can start interviewing some of the elders that currently work for the college, and we even have elders that attend as students. So we are hoping to expand our archives.
Great. And I guess in that understanding of the archives, can you talk a little bit about, how those decisions are made of what to archive? Do those come from tribal council or those from the advisory board on the tribal college or a combination of both? Or how does that
So
work?
that the library does have a library committee, and we meet usually once a year, and that's where we plan our archival processes for the upcoming year. So, yes, we have digitized most of our documents in the archives. They're not currently all made public. Some of it does have information that at this time that the school has decided they did not want to publish. So, while most of the items are digitized, usually patrons need to come into the library to access that. That is something I am hoping to change. So we recently, in January of 2020, our president passed away from COVID. It was a great loss for our college. Under our new leadership, I'm hoping that the archive policy might be able to change.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't realize that you guys had lost your president to COVID.
Yes, we did. It was just a big shock and tragedy for, of course, for his family. And we hear from our students so often that say that the school feels like a family, and it's the same for us. So
Mm-hmm.
it really was a tragedy. We miss him greatly. So our
Yeah,
new president happened to have been my dean. He was dean of academics for quite a few years, so he was pretty familiar with the school and our policies. So we were excited to have him come, even though it was such a tragedy. We're
yeah,
excited to see what Dr. Randall brings to the school and the changes he'll be making.
yeah. Our condolences to the
But
community there. Yeah. Jennifer Walker asks, do you have a library board? And if so, do community members serve on it?
so it's not necessarily a board. Like I said, we have the library committee, and I haven't had any um, community members that have been interested in participating. I would love for that to happen. I have asked several people in the community, and they just hadn't been able to participate. So right now, the committee is myself, a faculty member, an administrator, and we always include students on the committee. So, and those rotate every 2 years. So we make sure we're getting input from different areas of the college.
Yeah, great.
Thank you all for your condolences. I see those in the chat. But oh,
Uh, Dr. Reno asks, how do you see your mission as a college library different from that of the tribal library?
so with the college library, our main goal is to support the research and learning needs of our students. Um, that is our first goal. That is one of those things before we purchase anything. I have to ask myself, how is this supporting our curriculum? Excuse me. I would love to be able to archive additional things, and we are kind of planning some expansions in the archives. But the library's main mission is supporting the curriculum, teaching, and learning needs of the college, while
Mm-hmm.
the tribal library is archiving everything about the Muscogee Nation. Their archives are vast.
Mm-hmm. And so Gwen had a follow-up question on the, are they digitized documents that you're working with, combination of both, or?
It's mostly what we have gotten is mostly ephemera, and we are digitizing it. So it's usually we get just paper copies of things and then we digitize as we go. And we do keep the original documents and try to store them in things like acid free boxes. So we keep anything from ads the college might have done to anytime a faculty administrator might be in the tribal college journal. We always archive anything that has something about the college of the Muscogee Nation.
Mhm. And when you say we, is that you? Is that,
Yes, yeah, sorry.
just
It's
making
me.
sure?
I'm the sole librarian at the college. I normally have two work study students, and in the summer I have a summer youth worker. But yeah, I am the only librarian.
Yeah, so that's kind of how you plan around the staffing and kind of
Yes,
workflows is with those kind of seasonal work, Yeah,
work. Yes.
yeah.
So
Is there any kind of I guess integration there at any time, kind of all hands on deck where professors or other admins help out with library functions?
they do when possible. So I
Hmm.
am really lucky and have some great colleagues who have been very generous with their time. And pardon me, our house is being painting and the fumes are getting to me.
Oh man,
Um, so I've been really lucky. I have wonderful colleagues that do help out.
yeah.
I
Jeffrey had
see
a
some.
question. Are you implementing digital media in the resurrection and promotion of the Muskogee language? For example, digital video and audio recordings, scanning of documents. Yeah, I think you talked a
Yes,
little bit about that, but specific to the language revitalization, preservation.
yes to all of those things. There is a Muscogee language app. We also um, have, so the Muscogee Nation has a language department, and they have put out quite a few CDs and things like that. So they're definitely available to our students. So our instructor in the Native American Studies program heads up the department that does the Muscogee language. So we recently started an online Muscogee language certificate, and so I can see that this is going to give us a chance to really increase some of those holdings and promoting, excuse me, the Muscogee language. So we are definitely currently doing that and have plans to expand.
Great, great. Deborah had a question here. You mentioned chattel librarian service. How has that worked out for you,
Yes.
and do you find it made library more accessible? Do you plan to keep it?
So we do plan on keeping it. Our grant paid for 2 years, so we're still in the middle of our first year. To be perfectly honest, it wasn't used as much as I had hoped. Some students have found it is on our website. I had asked for them to put it on the homepage of the website, but they weren't able to do that. And so that's me working on getting the word out and letting students know about that tool. I do think for the students that have reached out there that it has been a big help for them. We do plan to keep it. We use a pretty inexpensive chat program. And so that while I have a very small budget, that is something I really do hope to continue.
Um, Definitely keep the questions coming, students. We have a few more minutes with Miss Haught, and I wanted to kind of hear a little bit about, this has been a 10-year journey for you there, specifically at College of Muscogee Nation. What are you thinking about kind of now in terms of this growth and this sustainment of, what you and the collective community of the college there have been able to achieve? Uh,
So, looking back, like I said, when I first started in 2010, we were using borrowed space at a small um, Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology. It was in the town of Muscogee, so we were in borrowed space with a very very small library. And I have been very fortunate. The school is very supportive of the library. I think they realize it's critical to the students' success. And so I've been very blessed and lucky to have good support from our administration. Um, of course, I would love to have a bigger budget. That's something that I think most libraries have. I was very, very excited to hear that they are planning an additional building for the library. While we gained about, I think, 2,000 square feet from our last space, um, we are going to end up, I think, even tripling the space we have now. We are already kind of running out of shelf space. And while we have digital books and movies and things like that, our students tend to prefer hard copy usually. And so we're really excited to see how this process is going to work. We're still one building away, so it's going to be probably another 5 years before we're able to expand into that bigger space. So I see a couple of other questions.
yeah.
The tribal guidance on archiving documents. We don't usually archive things that are specific to just the Muscogee Nation. And so, since we do archive mainly College of the Muscogee Nation items, they don't really have much guidance on that. Our graduation rate does improve. Our retention is something that we're working really steadily on improving. Um, let's see. Have you seen improvement of student success with the growth of the library? Yes, I think that that's pretty evident in our success rates, our retention, and our graduation rates. And as we have grown, of course, some of those numbers have gotten bigger as well. When I started, we averaged about 125 students a trimester, and we're now around 225 students. And our new president is very set on expanding even more. Now that we have these new degree programs, it has sparked a lot of interest, and we're really hopeful to continue. Um, our plan is to begin looking into expanding into offering bachelor's degree. Currently, we only offer the associate's degree. And so our new president has talked to us about starting a bachelor's degree in Native American Studies. The president actually just came down and spoke to me a couple of weeks ago about the um, new bachelor's degree, and was really happy to hear that I genuinely believe the library is ready to go for that, especially in that subject. Between our physical copy, our digital collections, and things like that, that I think in our databases, I think that HLC wouldn't have any issues with the library resources for a bachelor's degree.
Hmm. Yeah, Jeffrey had a question about kind of the public-private partnership aspect, and I think specifically K through 12, what does that look like for you? I mean, I know just the college in general from the pictures that you shared
Yes,
is a family place, and that's not often the case in higher education, but it's definitely something
it,
that's part of tribal colleges.
it is. So, like, yeah, like I was saying, our students, I hear that more than anything from our students, that it feels like a family. In fact, we have a new student in whose grandmother is attending class as well, and he has some learning difficulties. And she said his entire life people have been telling him and her that he would never be able to go to college, and he's thriving at our college. And so she is just thrilled. And It's people like that really advocate for the college and bring in. Our Student Success Center is involved with a grant where they do reach out to high schools and they work with high school, I believe it's sophomore, junior, and seniors. And they have some incentives for them about keeping their grades up in college. And we work with them on college readiness.
Yeah,
I am hoping to collaborate more with. So in the city of Mulgee, which is has a population of less than 20,000, we have our library, we have the tribal library, we have a public library, and as I was mentioning, Oklahoma State University of Technology also has a library. Before COVID, we used to collaborate a little bit more. We all kind of got a little bit busy and haven't been collaborating quite as much as I would like. So that's what we are have planned to kind of get together, and then COVID kind of came back with a little bit of a vengeance down here, and so we haven't been able to meet the different librarians from the different libraries. But we're very much interested in collaborating with our community members.
yeah. And I guess for our last question, you've been so generous with your time. Um, and
Oh,
so, you know, as I imagine everybody, you look at that 10-year span, that's a lot of growth and really fast. What kind of advocacy strategies have you found most useful, I guess, from a library standpoint?
so I think the story I told just a minute ago about our student's grandmother, who is just so thrilled with the care her grandson is being treated with. Sometimes our students are our best advocates. A lot of times we will have one member of a family come, and within a year, we have quite a few members of their family attending the college. So our students are sometimes our biggest advocates. Um, Being involved in the different organizations like the Tribal Libraries Committee and the Tribal um, College and University Library Association that meets in Bozeman is also another great thing for us. AHEC, some of those different organizations I think really contribute to our growth. And so, like I said, our students I think are sometimes our biggest advocates.
Great. Well, Karen, Miss Howe, thank you so much for your time and for the really,
Oh,
really valuable information. And I think from our questions from our students, they valued it as well. So I want to go ahead on their behalf. Thank you for your time today.
but
Students,
oh, thank you all.
yeah, feel free to join us on the next session coming up October 19th. These are the 6 to 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And thank you for making the time to join us today for our speaker. And I'll let you close us out. Or actually, Aaron LaFramboise, Director of Library Services at Blackfeet Community College, will be that speaker on October 19th. And so I know
She's
you know her
awesome
well.
too.
Yep, yep. Yeah, but yeah, why don't you say goodbye to the folks there, Miss Hout, and we'll go ahead and close out. Thank you so much.
Mado, thank you all so much for your time. I really appreciate the opportunity. So, Mado, thank you. I'm just very thrilled. I can send my PowerPoint with my contact information. And if anybody has questions, you can always find me on the college. You can just look up the College of the Muscogee Nation, and under the staff and faculty, you can find my email and contact information there as well. So, thank you very much for all of your kind words. I really appreciate your time. And
Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.
bye. Mado.